Salvation is our only function here. Our part is essential to God's plan for salvation. Welcome back, fam. We made it to lesson 115 of A Course in Miracles. Today we are going to be studying and reviewing lessons 99 and 100. And these review lessons are always so powerful because we are getting to have a second chance to come around on the ideas we've practiced a few weeks ago and return to them, and that seed that we planted a few weeks ago when we first heard this idea is taking deeper root in our mind, and it is becoming more clear to us in many different ways on why this is truth and how it's been working, whether we've seen it or not at any point in our life. So some very powerful stuff happens with these review lessons. Now go ahead and pull up to the page, to the lesson. If you don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description. And let's go ahead and begin. For morning and evening review 99. Salvation is my only function here. My function here is to forgive the world for all the errors I have made, for thus am I released from them with all the world. Your function here is to forgive the world for all the errors you have made, for thus you are released from them with all the world. Our function here is to forgive the world for all the errors we have made, for thus we are released from them with all the world. 100. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. I am essential to the plan of God for the salvation of the world. And sometimes we could forget how essential we are. Me and you are very essential. Keep that word specifically in your mind today, because we talked about this when we were actually at this lesson. But just a little recap. There's how many humans on this planet? How many bodies are here on this planet? How much stuff exists? Me and you seem so minute in terms of what the body's eyes see. And we see so much people out there, so many places, things, situations, circumstances, events. There's so much going on out there in the world that the body's eyes could see, and the body's eyes only see separation. That's what they were made for. So me and you, identifying with the ego, look everywhere else and see all these magnificent beings who are doing great in life and relationships, financially, and all these other accolades that they may have. And sometimes that makes us feel like we are not good enough and they are more than us or better, or opposite way. We are that individual with all the accolades and we look around us and we feel like nobody compares, and we feel like we have done so much compared to other individuals. Remember, those are both two forms of separation, and both of them are false, because at the very core of our being, we are all equal. And sometimes whenever we get caught up with the little self-image that we made apart from God, and this is who we think that we are, we can feel very irrelevant. We can feel very non-essential, because it feels like everyone's out there having fun or in togetherness and in harmony doing their thing, and it feels like we're over here in our tiny little world, very insignificant. And that is just furthest from the truth. Remember, that is what the body's eyes see, and the body's eyes can't see anything other than separation, because once again, that is what we made them for, believing that separation was possible. We made an event where we can experience that separation, which is what this body is and which is what this world is. But just because we are here temporarily doesn't mean that this is who we are. And remembering the information that we're discussing today and have been for the last 115 days and will continue to do for the next few hundred days, we are going to finally come to true vision, which is beyond what the body's eyes can show you, and operating from that higher state of mind, which is where I believe we are right now, is much more powerful, because now we can finally see how essential our part is in God's plan for salvation. Me and you can see how important the role that we play is. We are not insignificant at all, regardless of what you do in your daily life. It may feel like you do the same thing every day. You go to the same places every day. You see the same individuals every day. And you think the same thoughts every day. You're doing kind of the same thing every day. And keep in mind, not only you, but everyone else is. It's kind of the same everywhere you go. But and sometimes whenever we are experiencing that, it feels like is there more? I could be doing more. But whenever you understand that you are essential, take a look at all the individuals around you and take a look at the situation around you. So much of the time we believe that this place I'm living at is not enough. The situation I have is not enough. The relationships I'm in are not enough. They're not cutting it for me, the ego, although we don't say that because we're unaware, but they're not cutting it for me. The money I have is not enough. If only I were to get a little bit more. If only I had a new living situation. If only I had just this, then I would be fulfilled. And that's, again, the ego's doctrine. Seek but never find. So you can be sure that you are identifying with the ego. In any moment in time you feel like you're lacking something, because you are really lacking not. And it feels like we are insignificant in those periods of time. But whenever you come to this realization and you understand that you are one with all aspects of creation, then you can begin to make the most of your current situation. And then, and only then, can your life begin to expand and evolve. Because remember, if you have walls and barriers up towards love, how is love going to flow through? You're only allowing this tiny little stream of love in through everything that's occurring in your life right now. And we think that we want more when our consciousness can't even hold more love, because love is all that is. And because we're only allowing this tiny little portion of love to flow in our lives, and we think that we want more, even if it was in front of us, which it is, we wouldn't be able to see it, because again, this is how big our little stream is to allow all that love in. And we want more money and more relationships and more this and that, and we can't even, our consciousnesses at that moment in time can't even hold all that love. It can't even comprehend that. So we have to do something about healing our internal world first, because remember what we learned at the earlier lessons, our internal world and our external world are the same. The only difference is that the internal world is the cause of what we see out there. So if something appears to be lacking out there, you got to take a look within first and understand that you would be able to receive more love in terms of worldly possessions and accolades and whatever it is that you're looking for out there, if only you were allowing more of that love internally to flow. And if something feels like it's lacking, remember, the only thing that could be lacking in any situation is what me and you are not giving. If we feel like we're lacking love, or we feel like we're alone because another body is not by us, or we feel whatever it is that we feel that is based and rooted on fear and separation, it just means that we are giving that. Check this out. Another way to say this is, if I feel lonely, I am giving loneliness. That's all that means. I am activating loneliness. I am feeling lonely. I am feeling alone. Or if I feel like I'm lacking something, I think that I'm lacking something, and I believe that, and because I have lack in my mind, I'm giving it and I'm perceiving it everywhere out there. And remember, the only thing that could be lacking in any situation is what you are not giving, meaning remember, we have been learning how giving and receiving are really one. Whenever you give someone hate and envy and jealousy, you're really doing it to yourself, because if you're giving it to them, that must mean that you have that thing to give. Therefore, you're strengthening the idea of fear and lack and separation within yourself unknowingly. And if you feel like you're lacking something, you're strengthening that idea of lack, because lack really doesn't exist. But because you're perpetuating it in your mind, you're going to see nothing but that outside of you. And vice versa. If you are activating the abundance that you do have in your life right now, regardless of what you're comparing your life to out there on social media, or what you have seen other people with, or whatever it may be, remember, comparison is the thief of all joy. Whatever you are comparing yourself to out there, you're going to feel like you're lacking something if you're doing that comparing from the ego, which is, you must be, because only the ego compares, and spirit which is who you really are, if you were in this state of mind, knows that comparison is irrelevant, because you're literally that person with all the accolades. You are them. You are one with that aspect of creation. Meaning, if that aspect of creation has those accolades and that success materially, or whatever it is that you're looking for in this world, you, in this perspective, in this body, can also attain that, because you are no different than them at the core of who you two are. You are one. And in the moment that you feel like you're lacking, that's all you could receive. That's it. It's it. We are on a hamster wheel because we don't understand how much power we have. So we got to keep this in mind. I am essential to the plan of God for the salvation of the world, for he gave me his plan that I might save the world. You are essential to the plan of God for the salvation of the world, for he gave you his plan that you save the world. Me and you are essential to the plan of God for the salvation of the world, for he gave us his plan that we might save the world. And we can't do any saving if me and you are not already saved. And remember, there is no saving necessary, only to a mind that forgot who it is. So in truth, in reality, in the real world, whenever me and you are as God created us, which I'm sure we are right now, there is nothing to be saved from, because we are whole. We see the oneness that we are all one with and a part of. We know that me and you and everyone out there are one. We are all one of creation. We are all one in that aspect of creation. Now, whenever we forget who we are, we fall asleep to that, and our mind becomes separated and fragmented on different levels, it appears like, and we're identifying with this ego rooted in fear and separation, and we make belief systems that cause us to feel depressed and angry and irritated. And who wants to be in those states of mind? Nobody. And if they say they do, then they are not in their right mind. And if they are in their right mind, then they wouldn't feel that way to begin with. So we have to understand how backwards we've had it our whole lives, and understand that me and you don't have anything to be saved from in truth. But while we wander off and we are being the body and being the self-image that we made, thinking that we have to hold our guards up and be prove something and prove others wrong, or whatever it may be, all those insane illusions in order to make us feel better, we have to understand that we need to save ourselves from those illusions that we've made. And whenever we do, we'll return to who we really are, where we know that salvation is not necessary. Only to the sleeping mind is it necessary. So in order to save anybody, we must first be saved. There's even a section in the text of A Course in Miracles titled The Unhealed Healer, and it talks about the unhealed healer. And I see that from my perspective and opinion out there in the world, there's a lot of people who are unhealed, but they think that they have found the way genuinely, and they think that they are showing people, leading people to the right direction, and they are really kind of just guiding them down another route in the illusion where nothing serious is really taking place. And although where they are guiding someone else may be a little bit better than where that individual who was following them was before, that's still not the height of where they can go. This information is leading me and you in the right direction, and we have to remember that, because sometimes we can feel like there are so many paths to take out there. There's so many routes to take. There's A Course in Miracles, there's so many different teachings, there's so many different people who teach, there's so many different things out there that could cause you to want to go in another direction. And you have to trust me on this, if you don't already know it for yourself already, that this is going to guide us in the right place. And we have to remember that there's only one truth, and it is spoken in many different ways. So although A Course in Miracles is one of those ways, and I believe to be one of the best ways, and that's just my honest, humble, ego opinion, if you will, there is so many other great ways that will lead you to truth. But you have to remember that there's only one truth, and there are many different ways of conveying that message in order to help guide one to that path. Now, what me and you have to understand is, at the end of the day, everything out there is still part of the illusion. This book is still in the world of form. It's physical, it's temporary, and will turn to dust one day. But the words and intention behind the book will live on forever, and these words are teaching you, and every other way is teaching you, that the guidance is internal. It is within. And whenever we anchor ourselves in this state of mind, that we will no longer need any book, no audio, no guidance from anything outside of ourselves, because we finally returned to the guidance within, which is who we really are. Now, the last thing I'm going to say before we conclude today's lesson is that the thing that me and you most have to pay attention to and be most aware of is our discernment of knowledge and truth. Because you can hear someone who appears to be very confident on the way that they're leading you, and you have to have discernment. Even with me, you should be having discernment, listening to the words that I'm conveying, and understand that I am here with you in this body, in this world, and I have learned just as much fear as you have, and I am doing my best to convey a message that has worked for me to get to this beautiful state of mind. And even though I may be doing a good job of conveying that message, you, at the end of the day, your only guidance is within you. You do not need this video, you do not need me, and you only need to understand that guidance, which is your emotional guidance system, if you will, letting you know at every moment in time, are you going in the way of truth, or are you going in the way of fear and illusion, aka nowhere. So that discernment on your part is very crucial, because you can listen to someone out there and you'll know instantly whether they are guiding someone in the path of truth, or if they are guiding someone in a path that appears to be really nice and sounds good, but it's just kind of in the spiral of illusions still. So discernment is very key here. Now, on the hour, we are going to repeat, salvation is my only function here. Salvation is our only function here. And then on the half hour, we are going to repeat, my part is essential to God's plan for salvation. And if we feel led to, on the hour and a half hour, we can expand our dialogue mentally on these thoughts and allow them to gain more momentum, which will be more beneficial, but is not necessary. If you feel you just got to repeat it once and then go on about your day, feel free to do that. I feel like me and you being here right now is more than enough, and anything other than this is going to be another supplement. So this is where we are going to conclude today's lesson. We will meet here again for tomorrow's lesson, and until then, like always, may we remain in this state of mind of who we really are.